Hey, welcome to Brewing TV. Last episode we were at a Great American Beer Festival and you may have noticed that Dawson was once again absent.
Somebody had to get some work done, damn it. I'm gonna show you the work I'd done while these two were at GABF. It's a solo brew mission, and I'm going to introduce you to my little friend, Brewmaster. We brewed something unique together. Also, you wanted it, I'm gonna give it to you. Crappy-like, without a tripod, on the JV camera. Yeast washing!
And we're gonna have some big news at the end of the episode, so you're gonna wanna stick around for that.
Out here, on the lake, with us, all for brew.
Brew for all. Seasons are changing, Dawson.
I'm never gonna forgive you. Well, citizens, left behind again. Let's see if we can have some fun by ourselves on camera in a family kind of environment. I was just gonna check the old grain bin here and see if I can put together a recipe out of everything else that got discarded and left behind. Let's see what we got going on in here. That says Rauch malt. All right. What else? What else? That's also Rauch malt. All right. And let's. Well, there's some flaked oats, I think, and some dark crystal and something roasted. Let's use that. And this does not appear to have a label. Let's use it. I plugged what I think I have into Brewmaster. Brewmaster is my only friend. The mystery grain I'm just calling an American 2-row. I got 8 pounds of Rauch malt if my handwritten Sharpie note on that very old bag was to be believed. Guessing at the oats, black malt, and dark crystal, which is going to give us a smoked oatmeal something or other. About 1070 something. Let's go mash. Based on what I think I know, Brewmaster, my only friend, has told me how much sparge and strike water. Whoop, didn't clean out the mash tun from the other batch I've got going. That's none of your business. Just about to strike temperature. Here's the grist. I don't need those guys to have fun. God, I'm lonesome. Brewmaster, my only friend, tells me how much strike water and at what temperature, and how much sparge water and at what temperature. What in the world has come over you? What in heaven's name have I done? Broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. Out there running just to be on the run. Mash in. Achieved. Strike water. Hot. Mash temp. Righteous. According to the SRM estimate given to me by my only friend, Brewmaster, this will be in the 30s SRM wise, which would put it in the category of a porter or a stout. Cool. That's assuming the data I gave it was not faulty. There's a lot of guesswork involved here. Don't blame Brewmaster. Blame the Brewmaster. All right, Brewmaster. Mash timer. Engage. Mash is resting. Dug through the freezer. Found some Horizon pellets. Nice. Alright, Brewmaster, what you know about some hops? Yes, we're in the recipe view. Let's add hops. I want Horizon. 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 There we go. Let's do like 1 ounce. Let's 1 ounce at like 60 minutes. That looks good. Let's change the alpha to match what's on the pack. Come on, decimal point, play ball. 9.1. And we save that bugger. 31-ish IBUs. I think that'll work for kind of what I'm starting to imagine here. Let's check on the mash. As you might be able to tell, it's fairly dark. It's deep, deep brown, maybe not quite black. Will it be a porter? Will it be a stout? Will it be some kind of monster brown ale? It's gonna be a surprise, whatever it is. Welcome to Homebrewing. Mash out! Wet Wookie! Rice crackers! What's that, Brewmaster? Beep boop 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 bop 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 beep. You want me to first word hop the horizon? Boop 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 bop 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 beep. Oh, I'm way ahead of you. Beechwood smoked aroma, citizens. Woher liegt der Feuer, Fireman Rauchwalz? At least 2 of those 4 bags were labeled correctly. Wet Wookie. Not quite carved. Lots of plant matter in it. It's kind of like getting punched in the face by Bloodsport era Jean-Claude Van Damme. If Bloodsport era Jean-Claude Van Damme was a 55-pound sack of Centennial cones. Looking for some hot break, baby, this evening. Looking for some hot break, baby, tonight. Pre-boil OG 1044 for whatever that is worth, because I was guessing on at least 30% of the grain bill. But the way I see it, it's an experiment. Experiments are good. Experiments are what homebrewing is all about. I think we can probably get away with calling this an oatmeal smoked brown ale, judging by the color. We'll see, it'll darken a little bit in the boil, so final call will have to be made later. But I am naming it the Rapture, the first ever commemorative beer of the even greater American Beer Festival. Rapture, smoked oatmeal brown ale. Rapture because I got left behind. Rapture, smoked oatmeal, imperial brown. Look at our original gravity there, post-boil, 1068. Boom! Almost exactly spot on. Brewmaster predicted 1073. So for all of the half-assing we did, we were almost spot on. Brewmaster, are you wicked smart? Beep boop 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 bop 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 beep. Yeah, well, we've got it aerated, it's in the carboy, cooled off. Time to pitch some yeast. For a beer this big, we're gonna need a yeast starter, right? Boop 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 bop 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 beep. What's that? That's yeast starters are for white belts? Boop 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 bop 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 beep. Harvest some fresh slurry, but oh. Alright, got 1 week old yeast cake from beer I brewed 1 week ago. Got my sanitized flask, sanitize, barb, hose, leading into my sanitized flask. Let's get some yeast. Beauty, eh? There it goes. That is what we collected from the bottom of the conical. It's a fresh pitch of healthy, happy, voracious, ready to fight yeast. Because I was able to dump the trube periodically during primary, that should be pretty clean, but just for the sake of going all the way, let's wash it. Disclaimer. This is how I wash yeast. This is not the only way to wash yeast. It might not even be the best way to wash yeast for you. So with the understanding that this is for entertainment purposes only, let's wash some yeast right after this beer. Hey Omar, do you want to come hang out? I got some surly glasses. You could come too, Todd. It's just me and I, Brewmaster. I got some Little Bear on tap. Sorry, Chip, this time's for real. Let's go over real quick what we have here. We've got a fresh cake of yeast from the primary fermenter in a sanitized flask. We've got a little funnel. We've got an airlock and stopper and some more aluminum foil for when I need it. All sanitized. I've got another sanitized flask ready to go, and finally I've got boiled, cooled water. Just like you would for making starter wort, boil it, let it cool before you put it in contact with the yeast. Now, it's time for my second disclaimer. I did find a tripod, but I'm stuck with a JV camera, so the video quality is the video quality, citizens. Step 1, add boiled, cooled water, to the slurry, to approximately double the volume. We've got about 900 milliliters. We're going to shoot for roughly 1800. I did not use all my boiled cooled water. Gonna need that later on. Step 2. Agitate it. We've got hop solids and malt solids. We've got yeast, we've got beer, and we've got water. We want to mix it all together and let it settle out. Come back in 15 minutes. Alright, 15 minutes have elapsed. Had a snack, pet the dog. We've got some separation here. At the top, we've got beer, water, and yeast. That is good. Down here at the bottom, I don't know if you can see it on this camera, but starting at about the 1000 mil mark, we've got heavier, chunkier, non-desirable solids. That is the trub that we want to leave behind. Next step is decanting. We're going to pour the top half into the clean flask. That is our water, yeast, and beer. Leave the trub behind in the first flask. Careful, careful, old Gil needs this yeast. That is now our solids and can be discarded. This is the good stuff, but we want to get a little bit more separation. So we're going to take the remainder of the boiled water and top up the decanted slurry. Shake it up and let it sit. Okay, we have waited 1 hour since the decanting and topping up, and as you can see, we've got very nice separation of the solids, which is now yeast, from the liquid. Besides waiting longer, I also stuck this in my chest freezer, just set to lager temps at 35 Fahrenheit, just to kind of hasten the precipitation of the yeast. We could wait even longer to get complete separation of this kind of milky layer right here, and then decant the liquid portion and leave behind just the solid if we were going to store it, but for my purposes, this is good enough. We'll decant a little bit from the top and then pitch it into the beer. Disclaimer number 3. If we were yeast washing in a real-world application and not for entertainment purposes only, we would have done this long before brew day, citizens, just like a yeast starter. Start rude! Damien! I'm not doing anything. I got brewskis, we could order a pizza. Well, that's how I wash yeast. If you look around on the intertubes, you will find other ways to wash yeast. That's just how I do it. Like I said, strictly for entertainment purposes. I use star sand and flasks. Some people use mason jars so they can boil them, like with canning. Whatever works for you, whatever lets you capture the yeast and reuse it in a sanitary fashion. Cool. I want to thank you, dear viewers, for not ditching me on Brew Day, hanging out with me and iBrewmaster. Beep, boop, bop, bop, beep. Yes, iBrewmaster, thank you for reminding me. Support the people who support Brewing TV. Brewing Network, Yeast, Brew Your Own, AHA, Homebrew Talk, and especially iBrewmaster. Get that app, because when you roll with iBrewmaster, you're always rolling at least 2 deep on a brew day, no matter what beer festival your friends leave you for. This is Michael Dawson, your host. Michael Dawson, your host. The only host. Signing off from the basement studio. Until next time, all for brew. Beep, boop, bop, bop, beep, beep. You know, Jake, seasons are changing.
Indeed they are.
You know what else changes? Websites.
Websites change.
Sometimes websites change.
That's right, folks. You may have noticed on Facebook or on our homepage that we're actually moving. Northern Brewer was gracious enough to give us a room in their new house at northernbrewer.com.
It's in the basement. We're putting our guitars down there.
It's nice. There's a little kitchenette, bathroom.
Its own bathroom.
Door to the garage.
All Brewing TV episodes will now be on northernbrewer.com/brewingtv.
That's right. You go to northernbrewer.com. There's a Brewing TV tab right at the top. Just click on that. You can still find all the old episodes. We're moving all the other recipes and content to the Connect page on Northern Brewer. Also, we have a BTV forum now on the NB forum. So it'll be a great place for Brewing TV fans to go, talk, converse, and trade information.
Still free, same schedule, same hosts, same chip.
And the Brewing TV URL will still exist. So if you type in brewingtv.com, it just redirects you to Northern Brewer /BrewingTV.
So come on over to our basement. We'll make some mac and cheese, shred on some guitars, talk homebrew. All for brew?
Brew for all. I know, Chip, you might be out of a job after that episode.
Handheld camera. Just send me to do it.
Yeah.
Send me to do it. Oh, I'm drinking some Coors by myself. I looked all over the world to see every kind of girl, but my empty eyes seem to pass you by and leave me mashing with myself. Oh, mashing with myself. Oh, mashing with myself. Go mash yourself, Keeler. You too, Chip.